Shalom Aleichem. A good to year. Today we have on Orchos Tzaddikim, the ways of the Tzaddikim, the ways of the righteous. So this is, let's take a look at it. It's on refining character traits and maintaining balance in all matters. It's all about, it's divided up into many different categories. There's a gaiva. Gaiva means haughtiness. Anava is humility. It's called sha'arim. Sha'arim means gates, meaning gates. And let's take a look at it. A little presentation on it. This is the ways of the tzaddikim, Orchos tzaddikim, on refining character traits and maintaining balance on all matters. Okay, so this is Hechzek. This is, one can get this. They have a schedule on learning it, and one can get this, and one can learn it with the people, the people that are learning it, the Talmidim that are learning it. And here, let's take a look in general. Here, Shar HaGaiva, the gate of pride. The gate of pride. Then there's Sha'ar HaAnava, the gate of humility. Then there's Shar HaAzus, or the gate of arrogance. The Sefer tells us about all these different character traits. Shar, it breaks it up into Sha'arim, the gates. Shar HaAhava, the gate of love. So that it can, get us to be able to serve Hashem in a much better way. We can become closer to Hashem. Shar has Ho'achzorius, the gate of cruelty. So these are things, obviously, we have to stay away from. Shar HaSimcha, the gate of joy. The gate of joy. All different kinds of different gates and everything. It's broken up into gates. Shar HaSheker, the gate of falsehood, and so on. So this is how it's broken up. And we can maybe learn a little bit of this now. Let me take a look. Let's take a look. Shar HaGaiva. Let's take a look at Shar HaGaiva, the gate of pride. 1 minute. HaGaiva. Let me get a pen or something. 1 minute. 1 minute, 1 minute. Should have been more prepared. Okay, here. Haga'avo b'ma'alas ha'chachma hi mishubachas. Haga'avo shene'emar. Pride and the quality of one's wisdom is praiseworthy, as it is written, Yirmiyahu 9:23. Shene'amar ki im bezos yishalel hamishalol haskel v'yodea osi. But let him who praises himself praise himself for this, being wise and knowing me, meaning Hashem. Ki im bezos yishalel hamishalel. Askel v'yodoa osi. Yirmiyah says, Kav Beis. V'yosef hodoa lebore baruchu. And let him multiply praise to the Creator for having granted him knowledge and wisdom and goodly traits through the prayer for wisdom. Brachos 28b. I give thanks to you for having cast my lot among those who sit in the house of study, and not among the corner dwellers, the people who dwell on the corner. As in how fortunate we are, how goodly is our portion, and how pleasant is our lot. Let's see the Ivrit, the Hebrew. Moda ani lefonecha. I thank you, Hashem, shesamto Chelki miyoshvei beis hamedrash. You have set my portion among those that dwell in the house of study, in the Beis HaMedrash. and not among those among the corner dwellers, those that stay by the corner. Okay, Miyoshvi Koronos. Barachos Chavches Samad Beis. That's in Brachos. That's a bracha for thanking Hashem for that we are fortunate to be the ones that learn Torah, and therefore it says, Vayigba libo b'darchei Hashem. Vayigba libo b'darchei Hashem. Divrei Yamim Beis. Vayigba libo, and his heart was uplifted in the ways of Hashem. So his heart was uplifted in the ways of Hashem. So in other words, it's good to be misameach if someone is going along the right way. One sees one is going along the right way. Vayigba libo b'darchei Hashem, and his heart was uplifted in the ways of Hashem. Divrei hayam beis. Yud Zayin Dalet. It can be looked up there. Ki yihye adam yikar ruach ugeva leiv be'inyonei ha'olam habo shelo yaspik lo b'ma sheyizdamin lo v'lo yomar dai b'ma shetimtza yodo mehem. His heart was lifted in the ways of Hashem. For a man should be lofty-spirited and high-hearted in matters of the world to come. He should not be content with what comes his way, and not say enough in respect to what he acquires of them. In other words, one should try to seek more and more. It's a great thing. Ki yihye adam yikar ruach. You should be prideful of the spirit, and have a pride in his heart. In the world, in Yanim, in the topics of Olam Hazeh, of this world, in the topics of the world to come. Shelo yaspik lo b'ma sheyizdamim lo. Shelo yaspik lo. It shouldn't be enough for him. B'ma sheyizdamim lo. What has come to him already. Below Yomar Dai B'ma Shetimtza Yodo Mehem. He shouldn't say enough of what I have already. Okay, I learned a certain amount, that's good enough. He shouldn't say that. Eli Yima'et Be'enov Kol Ma'aseu. But he should make it even. He should say, no, this is not enough. He should be Mamaitet. He should make it even smaller than it is really. It should be small in his eyes what he accomplished so far, because he wants to accomplish even more and more. You might be of kol masev v'tigba nafsho, and his heart should be uplifted. Lema'alot tomid, always trying to go further and further upwards, and more accomplishments, trying to go better in Torah and Midos. V'yisraim benafsho mima shemekatzer mi'avodas haborei. His deeds in this area, and should he should be memait. He should make his whatever he accomplished so far. He should say, okay, that's nice, it's great, but thank God that I did what I did. But it's really not enough. I should try more even. So of his deeds, and he should constantly aspire upwards, and he should take himself to task for falling short in the service of the blessed Creator. Such pride is no impediment to humility, but abets it. It helps it, and causes one to rejoice in the virtuous qualities, and in the honor of one's friends, and in the and to be solicitous of their honor. This kind of pride, mazekes la'anova, doesn't hurt one in one's anova. In one's anova means humility. Ach misayeh eyo v'goremes lo l'smoach b'ma'alos hatovos v'l'smoach b'kavod chaveru v'lachos al kivodom. But abets it, and causes one to rejoice in the virtuous qualities and in the honor of one's friends, and to be solicitous of their honor. In other words, when somebody's friend is doing well, one should also be happy for their friends, and one should give them honor that's due them. Haga'ava neget harishoim hui mishubachas ma'od. Pride against the wicked is extremely praiseworthy. Rebuking them, shaming them, not humbling oneself before them, exhorting them to be to the good and against evil as much as one can. In other words, one should try to, people that are not doing things the right way, one should try to get them to do things the right way. Hagavwa neget harishoyim hi mishubachas ma'od. Pride against the wicked is extremely praiseworthy. Rebuke, okay, let's see, go through it. Lahochicham, to rebuke them. Uli hachlim osam, and shaming them. Okay, not terribly shaming them, but in a way that they understand that this is not the way to do things. That's what it means. It doesn't mean one should go out of one's way to really shame them. One should not humble oneself in front of people that they see are not doing the right thing. One should try to get them to see that it's a mitzvah to do the right thing, ala tov, on the good thing, on the good things. And he should try to warn them against doing things bad, according to as much as he can. Even though this may seem autocratic and haughty in the eyes of the world, this might seem autocratic and haughty in the eyes of the world, since it is being done for the sake of heaven, it's being done for l'shem shamayim, for Hashem, it is praiseworthy. One isn't doing it for oneself, one is doing it that the person that things should be good for this person and the sake of Hashem, for Hashem's honor. Even though this is in the world like somebody is lording it possibly over people, it's not, but he's not really doing it, and one shouldn't do it in such a way anyway. And being haughty, since his heart is l'shem shamayim, for the sake of heaven. So then this is mishubach, this is praiseworthy. One should not bow down, one should not humble oneself to Rishayim, people that are doing things the wrong way. Like Mordechai, he did not humble himself before Haman. La'azov hatov mipnei hashpoloso lifneihem, to la'azov hatov, to abandon the good. God forbid, mipnei hashpoloso, because he was smaller than him, because one is smaller than the powers that might be doing things the wrong way. To abandon the good, one does not want to abandon the good. This needs, you have to be very wise, you have to be able to accomplish this. At what time one can say this is not the way to do. At what time one should go against them in the mitzvah. Sometimes it is not the best thing to do this. Sometimes you have to know when. One shouldn't go just willy-nilly. One has to know what's going on. What's the story? Because sometimes it's not worth it that one should stand up in front of them. If, let's say, it's a gang, God forbid, one is one person, then one does not go against the whole gang. God forbid. Sheim yo'ez panav negdam. Excuse me. Sheim yo'ez panav negdam abor mitzvah achas yapsid meya mitzvos. Oh, also another thing about that. She'im yo'iz ponov negdom. If one becomes very if one acts in a haughty way because of one mitzvah, yafsid meya mitzvos. One can lose 100 mitzvos because they might get turned off because of this one mitzvah. And once they get turned off, God forbid, one can't have the way of influencing them about many other mitzvot. One wants to be able to be relevant to the people and to get them to do mitzvot. So one doesn't want to, because of one mitzvah, to lose 100 mitzvahs that these people can be influenced to do. Yalzeh Omer Shlomo, and on this Shlomo HaMelech says, Solomon the king says, Al ta'an kisil ki'ivalto, v'yomer anei al ta'aneh kisil bi'ivalto. One shouldn't answer a fool in his foolishness. V'yomer, and it says, anei kisil ki'ivalto. V'yomer, answering the fool and his foolishness. Mishnah Yichav above Dalet Hey, v'heim rishoim u'chasilim lakach tzorich hachacham lisbonein. And the people that are doing the averus, whatever it is that are being done, heim rishoim u'chasilim. Answer a fool according to his foolishness. They are both wicked and foolish. Therefore, the wise must take into consideration the time and the circumstances and arrange his deeds accordingly. For there are things which he must abandon because of the wicked, and things which he must under no circumstances abandon because of them, and for whose sake he must stand up against them with his person and with his possessions, and not humble himself before them. One should not humble himself before them. All this applies to the realm of mitzvos. But in the realm of business dealings, he should humble himself before them and conduct himself with them beyond the letter of the law in all things. And this is a great mitzvah. Oh, in other words, in business dealings, one should humble oneself. But in mitzvos having to do with Hashem, the mitzvos, one may not humble oneself. Al ta'an kisil bivaltu. Do not answer kisil, the fool, like their foolishness. Yomer, and says ane kisil bivaltu. One does answer fools to the foolish in the same manner. So one is for the mitzvos, and one is for business. Mishnah Chavav Dalet Hey. V'heim rishoyim chasilim. They are wicked people. Chasilim, fools. Lekach tzarech hachacham lisbonein. Therefore, the wise person has to think, has to consider the tzarech hashov yoinyan, according to the way the needs of the hour of yoinyan and the topic and what's going on. And yisader ma'asav, and according to this, yisader ma'asav, he should arrange his actions. Ki yesh davar shetzarich la'azov b'shvilam. There are certain things that one does have to abandon b'shvilam because of them. V'yesh davar